Hello, welcome back to another podcast, and it is week 13 or podcast 13. Yes, January is over. That's probably the best thing that actually happened in January for me was the month ending. But how are we feeling today?
Yep, not too bad. I think I've passed 70 words per minute shorthand today, but again, fingers crossed until the email appears in my inbox.
Yes, I had a good Thursday. I managed to pass 60, and instead of just trying to pass 50 and then 60, thought I'd try kill two birds with one stone, and turns out I did today. Not too sure, not too confident, but I don't think I'm. Well, we listened to the 81.
Yeah.
No chance. So I'm happy to take my time with that. Pablo, how are you?
It was a good weekend, not gonna lie. I'm really tired. Basically, I watched the Super Bowl yesterday and this morning, pretty much.
Tell us more.
It was entertaining. It was clearly more entertaining than the previous Super Bowl. We was the Kansas against San Francisco. My brother and I were watching it with my mom, and we were supporting Kansas. They did a beautiful comeback, 31-20. Great win. Obviously MVP Patrick Mahomes, and what can I say? A lot of ads, obviously in Super Bowl. Really weird ones, not gonna lie.
Okay, starting then, kicking off straight with the Premier League. What a game that was yesterday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I did watch it. Chris went to the game. He'll tell us more. That was that first half. Didn't know what was going on.
The first one was absolutely all over the place. City overall in the entire game, City had 14 shots. We had 2 shots on target and we scored 2 goals. Again, the repeat of the Champions League quarter-final at home, same penalty spot, same goal, and same kind of save from Hugo Lloris. Then obviously the red card in the second half for Zinchenko changed the game completely 3 minutes afterwards. Steven Bergwijn, our new signing from PSV, which we bought him for about 25 million pounds, around that sum. He's been introduced to the Premier League quite well. He scored on his debut. It was a magnificent goal as well, a volley from just outside the box. And then the game went on, and we scored the second one thanks to Son Heung-min, and that means that Liverpool will now go 22 points clear.
Yes, I saw the
And
stats.
I'm very happy.
It was like
I was
City
a
14
Tottenham
shots
fan while
and,
watching it.
Yeah, City 14 shots.
and Tottenham 2 shots. Tottenham 2-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Shows what you need to win a game.
No,
with,
but I mean, that's accuracy, not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is about City. They keep attacking, they keep shooting, but they just they had some. Well, they've had a few clear-cut chances from Aguero and Sterling, and obviously that penalty save as well. But yeah, Pep Guardiola will not be happy with the recent performances from Man City. That's for sure.
Yeah, what's happened to them? Is it the pressure from Liverpool, or are they just not as good as they were?
Who knows? He could be, but it could be a combination of things. But
Yeah, it could be
there's
a lot of factors.
100%. There's definitely more pressure, especially on Guardiola himself, because from last season we expected City to win everything, including the Champions League, and we were talking about a quadruple and whatnot. So going into this season, Man City realistically were the only challengers against Liverpool for the title, and we can all see how that's panning out at the moment. So as we've mentioned just before the podcast, Liverpool need 7 wins. And the 7th game is actually against Manchester City, so if they win
And I
it
hope
against
we'll
them,
win.
so if they do it against them, it'll be quite a story.
Yeah, a long trip for Norwich this week. Newcastle. I didn't make the trip, but have been there once to watch football, and I can confirm you are a long way up when you're in the away end, and you're knackered by the time you get to the top. A frustrating draw, another frustrating result for Norwich. I've been pretty much saying that every week. Plenty of chances going amiss for both sides, to be honest, but the best ones probably were for Norwich. We dominated much of the play, but couldn't get past keeper Dubravka, and the gap to safety is now 7 points, and the season is slipping away with a bit of a whimper, and we've got Liverpool, Wolves and Leicester in the next 3 games, so we'll see where we are in 4 weeks. So each team does get a week off in February, no game for Spurs or Norwich next weekend. Other results, another win for Liverpool, 4-0. Everton, what a comeback from them at Watford. Watford down the bottom, interesting. Great start under Nigel Pearson, and then they missed that penalty against Tottenham, and since it's gone downhill.
Exactly. The game against Tottenham was clearly a turning point. I don't know what happened, whether the belief has gone down or something, but there's definitely, you can see a change, and maybe we've talked about this on our podcast before, and we're just thinking whether it's the burst of fresh blood coming from the manager or what it is, but that seems to be gone for Watford at the moment. But we'll see how the rest of the season pans out, and maybe they'll manage to stay up in the Prem.
Yes, West Ham, they blew a two-goal lead against Brighton, and yeah, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United all dropped points. So yeah, the rest of the top six, other than actually I should include Leicester, but yeah, all struggling this season, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. It's been a good weekend for Tottenham because, as you've mentioned, all the teams around us have dropped points. So we're 4 points behind top four at the moment. But yeah, Liverpool clearly standing. But the thing is, the question here is whether we're judging the rest of the teams by Liverpool standards, because what Liverpool are doing this season is absolutely extraordinary, and it might never happen again.
It look like they're playing with teams from the third division or something like
Yeah,
that. They just make it look so easy.
So because I don't know what it is, but for me it could be because Liverpool are playing so well, the standard of play is so magnificent, in the way they play every game. They're striving to win. Does it make other teams look bad, even though they're not necessarily doing that bad? Because if you look at comparison from other Premier League seasons, the amount of points that Liverpool have got at this stage is much beyond what's ever happened before.
I just think you cannot compare Liverpool. I mean, you cannot compare the other teams to Liverpool, because what Liverpool is doing is something unpredictable, is something that no one was expecting.
Yeah, they've got like 100 out of the last 102 points available.
Exactly.
So,
and obviously they haven't lost any match. They only draw against Man United, and that's it. Right now.
Yeah, I would prefer not to talk about fantasy football this week, but I've got to mention it anyway.
Same.
28 points. I forgot to change my team after playing a free hit last week, which means that my team just went straight back to what it was a couple of weeks ago. So I lost Salah, lost Firmino, lost Snodgrass, lost Aurier, who all scored quite well, I think. So yeah, just 28 points, and I think there's not really much hope of me winning my division. There's 6 of us, and I think I'm about 200 points behind now. And yeah, I think, is it just 13 games left? So not good.
Yeah, it wasn't a much better weekend for me. I got 31 points. I had faith in Gazzaniga to stay in goal for Spurs, but he obviously did not. After Hugo Lloris came back from his dislocated elbow, I had Jan Bednarek in defence as well. He did not feature against Southampton's defeat to Liverpool. And other than that, the only players that have really scored any points for me were Mason Mount from Chelsea, who got me 10 points, and Virgil van Dijk, who got me 6 points for Liverpool.
The Championship. West Brom back to winning ways, win against Luton and Leeds. Are they falling apart again?
Oh, this is just a reoccurring story, Sam, isn't it? This is getting crazy. They get to this point, they're at the top of the table. Everyone thinks, they're going to do it this year, And then with a certain amount of games to go, towards the end of the season, they always collapse. It'll be interesting to see. But if they go to the playoffs again and manage to lose in the semi-final, in the final, it'll be just ridiculous.
Yes, wins for Brentford, wins for Fulham, just closing the gap on the top 2. And yeah, Wigan, Leeds lost 2, and that was Wigan's third away win in the last 40, and 2 of those wins have now come at Leeds. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely their bogey team. A bit of midweek football. Aston Villa late winner against Leicester to get to Wembley, and then Man City lost at home to United again, but they did win on aggregate 3-2. So Aston Villa against Man City. In the final, any chance of Villa springing a surprise, or will City turn up for that?
Don't know if you've seen, but on Twitter, Tom Hanks, apparently the Hollywood actor, tweeted his support for Villa. So if they got Tom Hanks' support,
well,
then who knows?
they've got a very good chance.
They do have a chance, but no. Realistically here, Man City are not doing very well at the moment. So who knows? I think it's open for anybody, and Villa have been quality in some of the games that they've played this season. So if they turn up on the day, it is Wembley, the players are going to be extra revved up. And I think Aston Villa players will have that extra sort of motivation, because Man City, that trophy is not their priority.
Yeah.
And for Aston Villa...
Champions League probably is their priority, obviously, in Premier League. But
exactly. And for Aston Villa, this one will matter. So if they turn up on the day, is anyone's game.
La Liga this week, Pablo.
Yeah, so it was really entertaining. Watch first the Madrid derby, Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. Just one goal. It was a good first half for Atletico, but obviously the changes from Zinedine Zidane, Vinicius Jr. just did a beautiful pass to Mendy, and Mendy to his compatriot Karim Benzema, who scored the only goal, and right now has 13, catching up with Lionel Messi's. And also with Barcelona, Quique Setien, Barcelona showed some improvement in week 22 after winning very convincingly to Levante with a 2-1 score. 2 goals from Ansu Fati in less than 130 seconds between one and another. That just makes the young Spanish forward the youngest player to score a double in La Liga's history. Also the goal from Besso in the last minutes for Levante gives some hope to the visitors. But in the end, Barcelona with Messi, they are just unstoppable. And right now, points Real Madrid 49, Barcelona 46, trying to catch up. So I'm still hoping that Barcelona wins this, but who knows?
Six Nations began this weekend, and there were the usual 3 matches. And it started off with Wales against Italy. Pretty routine there. Win for Wales 42-0. Ireland edged to a sort of 19-12 victory over France. Oh, no, not France, sorry. We'll get to that. Over Scotland. And it was a bit of a mad moment for one of the Scotland players who, did you see that, the try incident?
Yeah.
Dropped the ball on the line. So for those of you who don't know, you must be in contact with the ball when it touches over the 22, and he wasn't. He dropped the ball, and the try did not count. Bit of a disaster. That would have got the Scots right back into the game. But no, and then England losing in Paris to France. What's happened there?
Very interesting game, especially with all the build-up. And,
What did Eddie Jones say? Was it too brutal or something?
He said it was too brutal. That's what he said. But what I like about France this year is that even when I was at the press conference, the one of the journalists asked a question as to what would be a successful tournament, and without hesitation, the French coach said the one that's won. So it just outlines their priorities for them straight away. They're in the tournament to win it, and they're off to a very good start, especially beating England. That's extra motivation, and that's definitely going to push them forwards in the tournament.
Yes, not a great start for England. We'll get to the matches this weekend towards the end of the podcast. Moving over to a bit of cricket and England's tour of South Africa. That's going to continue over the next few weeks. They've been warming up recently for a one-day international series, which is coming up. 5 matches. Jason Murray, he impressed in the first match with 100, and Johnny Bairstow, Joe Root and Joe Denley all made runs in the second one. And yes, the series begins tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the daytime, so pretty much perfect time to watch. India against New Zealand 2020 series, that's been going on over the last couple of weeks. 5-0 to India in the recent series, and 2 of the matches went to a super over, and that's becoming quite the occurrence for New Zealand. That's now 3 super overs since that infamous one in the Cricket World Cup final, and they've lost all 3 of those too, so I think they're still perhaps haunted by what happened at Lord's on the 14th of July. Not sure I'm going to ever forget that moment. Super over at Lord's, both teams tied, and England won on on boundaries scored. So, yeah, that was one way to win the World Cup. The Australian Open tennis. Any of you catch the final between Djokovic and TM?
No, I saw the highlights of the final, but I haven't watched the final live. Have you, Sam?
Yes, 17 major titles now for Djokovic. I didn't think he was going to do it, to be honest. He won the first set 6-4, but then TM struck back with a 6-4 and 6-2 victories. And then, Djokovic pulled through 6-3, 6-4 and converted the first of his championship points.
Well, that's what we said before the final as well. We said that he was very unpredictable, and there you go. He goes and win it.
So, yes, record extending 8th title at Melbourne Park secured by the Serbian, and it also means that he'll reclaim the world number 1 spot from Rafael Nadal as of today.
I just want to cry.
Oh, unlucky Pablo.
Oh.
Sofia Kenin, or bad news for you here as well, defeated Garbine Muguruza
And I cry as well.
in the women's singles title. And yes, 14th seed. She lost the first set 6-4, but won the following two sets 6-2, 6-2 to take the crown. And yeah, it was the Americans' first major title. Okay, World Masters Darts, so the first kind of big major darts tournament of the year, if you don't include the final of the Worlds on January the 1st. Well, yes, it was the Ladbrokes World Darts Masters taking place at the Marshall Arena at Milton Keynes. I was lucky enough to be able to attend one of the sessions, went to the Sunday afternoon session where we saw the quarterfinals. And it was Peter Wright, winner of the World Championships last month, who took the crown by beating Michael Smith in a last leg decider in the final. Michael van Gerwen, usually the favourite, he went out early, beaten by Welshman Johnny Clayton, which opened up the tournament completely. Or I think, especially from an audience point of view, when he goes out, you just get the sense that anyone can win it. Because, Wright beat Dave Chisnell 10-0 in the quarterfinals before beating Gary Anderson to book his place in the finals. Smith, on the other hand, he beat James Wade, Adrian Lewis and Nathan Aspinall on his route in the final. It ebbed and flowed, to be honest, and it looked that Wright would just about win when he was 8-6 up, but Smith broke back and managed to take the match into a final leg, and he had 3 darts at double to win it too. Yes, 3 attempts that he didn't get back thanks to a magnificent 171 from Peter Wright to leave double 8, which he hit to win his second TV title in succession. It's gutting for Michael Smith, really, because he's still waiting for that first TV title. But that being said, Peter Wright has been in his position. He went a long time without winning many titles and losing a lot of finals. So I'm sure Smith's time, his time will come. And he's still quite young as well. But yes, a lot of competition at the moment in darts, and MBG faltering a little bit in the last couple of tournaments. But yeah, I'm sure he will be back too. It's a week off in the Premier League this week for Tottenham and Norwich, and Chris, you're probably are you a bit annoyed about that after you've just beaten Man City?
Yeah, a little, but yeah, I reckon we're on a good run at the moment, and to stop that is a shame. But then again, we've got other matches to look forward to. We will be facing Southampton on Wednesday night in the replay of the FA Cup, which finished 0-0 at St Mary's Stadium. So yeah. That's what we're looking forward to at the moment. Yeah,
for Norwich, well, I don't think Norwich have Liverpool next, so I don't think it really matters whether we've got a week off or not. But you never know, we might be the first team to beat them this season. Probably won't. But
who knows? Are you at home?
Yes, at home on TV.
Anything can happen at Carrow Road.
So
yeah, I guess it gives us a couple of weeks to get ready of it, get ready for it, and
train hard and get the players there.
Yeah, and then probably get played off the park from the first minute. But yeah, Tottenham Southampton in midweek, and the winner of that plays Norwich as well. So it could be another Spurs against Tottenham game. Although, if that happens, I don't think we can go, can we? Because we've got an assessment.
I know, it's such a shame. And I could get us tickets as well because it's the FA Cup, so we could go.
Or maybe we should ask for those of you who don't know, how we do sports journalism, and one of our assignments in that module is to write, is it like an on-the-whistle report or something?
Yeah.
So we have to watch a game, and it's going to be in that week where all the cup games are being played, so like Thursday, March the 4th or something like that. And or maybe we could ask, could we go to
the stadium?
Can we sit in the press box? And, maybe. You never know. More games in La Liga coming up, Pablo?
Most important ones, obviously, Real Madrid versus Osasuna. There's no doubt Real Madrid is going to win this one. And then Barcelona versus Real Betis. That's a very hard one because Quique Setién used to train Real Betis. They are a really tough opponent sometimes. But I feel Barcelona play as good as they did versus Levante. Obviously, it's not in the Camp Nou, but if they play as good as in Camp Nou with Levante, with De Jong and Arturo Vidal, Messi, Ansu Fati, even Semedo, which did a really good match, I think we can keep up the run.
Okay. The Six Nations this weekend, round 2 of matches. It's a good one this weekend. Ireland against Wales Saturday, 2:15. Scotland against England Saturday, 5:45. And then France against Italy Sunday, 3 o'clock. And Ireland against Wales. I think it's hard to sort of judge too much on the first game
yeah,
because
definitely.
Wales were playing Italy and Ireland were playing Scotland, but Wales probably looked the stronger of the two,
Yeah,
but that does
definitely.
depend on opponents. But Ireland are at home as well.
Yeah, this one's tough to predict, but my money would be indeed on Ireland.
Okay. What about England, Scotland? Can England bounce back, or will Scotland make the most of? We're probably a bit vulnerable now, I'd say, after
Yeah.
that defeat.
Both teams lost their first games,
Mm.
so they'll be looking to bounce back. It'll be a tough one for England, especially because we're playing at home this weekend. So maybe the home support will make a difference. But yeah, definitely a tough challenge for England to bounce back.
Okay, cricket-wise, yes, as I said, the limited overs matches get underway this week against South Africa tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll also be talking about the Under-19 Cricket World Cup next week, which continues also in South Africa, and the Big Bash, that's almost at its conclusion, and the final of that that takes place on Thursday, and it's going to be between the Melbourne Stars and Sydney Thunder, with the action getting underway at 8:40 a.m, so I'll have to sneak that in my shorthandness, and I think don't want to miss that. Finally, the Premier League darts, that starts this week, also on Thursday. First night is in Aberdeen, so this tournament, it's a league format with 9 consistent players. This year they are Michael Van Gogh, Peter Wright, Gowan Price, Rob Cross, Michael Smith, Gary Anderson, Darryl Gurney, Nathan Aspinall and Glenn Durrant, plus challengers across each of the 16 weeks, and notably Fallon Sherrock. She will be the challenger when the darts goes to Nottingham in week 2. But yes, Thursday, 7 p.m. That gets underway, so there'll be plenty for us to discuss in next week's podcast. But yes, that is all for now. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everybody's enjoying the series. If you've got any feedback, feel free to either reply to our social media or just comment on the video, or just send us a message on one of our platforms. But otherwise, yes, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from Kris.
And goodbye from me, Pablo.